A very good afternoon to our esteemed guests, Shri Rajesh Kumar Sinha, IAS Principal Secretary, Housing Department, Government of West Bengal, Shri Sandipan Mukherjee, IFS Chairman, WBRERA, Government of West Bengal, Shri Bholanath Das, Member, WBRERA, senior officials from the Housing Department and WBRERA, and other dignitaries, our esteemed members, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sanjukta Dastidar from CREDAI West Bengal, and it is an honor and pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests, members, and participants to this workshop on West Bengal Real Estate Regulatory Authority, WBRERA, with the support of the Housing Department, Government of West Bengal. I will now request Shri Sushil Mohta, President, CREDAI West Bengal, to felicitate Shri Rajesh Kumar Sinha. I will now request Shri Tamal Ghoshal, President, CREDAI Howrah, Hooghly, to felicitate Shri Sandipan Mukherjee. I will now request Shri Siddharth Pansari, President, CREDAI Bengal, to felicitate Shri Bholanath Das. I will also request Shri Siddharth Pansari and Shri Tamal Ghoshal to felicitate our other esteemed guests today. So may I request Mr. Pansari to felicitate Shri Taposh Mukhopadhyay, member WBRERA. He's not here, right? Sorry, my apologies, he's not here. May I request Shri Pansari to kindly felicitate Shri Debasis Ghosh, Joint Secretary, Housing Department. Ashun sir, arek kamla. I will request Shri Tamal Ghoshal to kindly felicitate Shri Arjun Kumar Roy, Secretary, WBRERA. And I request Shri Ghoshal to kindly felicitate Srimati Shoma De, Special Legal Law Officer, WBRERA. My apologies. May I now request Shri Sushil Mohta to kindly welcome our esteemed guests, members, and participants to this special session today. Please, sir.
Shri Rajesh Kumar Sinha, Principal Secretary, Housing Department, and other dignitaries on the dais, friends, on behalf of CREDAI West Bengal, it's warm welcome to all of you. Today we have assembled here to discuss the RERA. It's basically we will call it a RERA workshop, since although we all know the RERA rules, regulations, the way forward, how to register, it is same as HERA. In fact, HERA and RERA, there is hardly any difference. The procedure is same. I must appreciate one thing, because I have experience of other states also, and I'm very happy to share this experience with you all, that RERA in West Bengal is so smooth, the registration is so smooth, it's online. The department is very, very friendly. They are here to help us. If there is any issue, we all can. My experience I am sharing with you. My office has reached them, and they were very forthcoming to guide us. I have experience of some of the states where it took 6 months to get registration, with a lot of problems and very delayed response. But in West Bengal, we find it very, very flawless and absolutely online. So, as you all know that the deadline is 30th April, and we need to have our project which we have started must be registered by that time. And also all new projects will require registration. I can tell you RERA is going to be the same thing as SEBI had been for stock market. Before SEBI was there, stock market was not that big. SEBI made stock market disciplined, brought it to a large spectrum. A lot of foreign investment started coming in country in capital market. And I think in future, RERA will be a guiding force for growth of real estate market. We should consider this RERA to be as a big blessing for our business, because we all CREDAI members want to do business in a legitimate manner, in a disciplined manner. And if we are transparent, we are disciplined, RERA is good for us, because those who brings bad name to the industry, who are fly-by-night operator, they will be taken to the task. In fact, last week we had a meeting of Industrial Promotion Board where Honorable Chief Minister was also present. And on behalf of CREDAI, we have given a proposal that the smaller projects which are developed by some local developers, sometimes some developers are good, some developers are not so law-abiding. There should be some regulation for those projects also. So the innocent purchaser is not cheated, and everybody works in a legal framework with legal regulation. Honorable CM has taken it happily, and he has advised also to the minister in charge and also to Chief Secretary, sir, to look into this. And I will not take much time. Thank you for coming here, and we will soon start the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Shri Tamal Ghoshal to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Principal Secretary, sir, Chairman RERA and other dignitaries, and my colleagues in the dais, and all the esteemed guests. I think today is a day where you will speak, and we here in the panel will have to answer you. So I think that is all the queries which you have, all the things which have been built up in your mind. You have everybody from RERA as well as the housing department here to be able to answer those questions. I know we're going through some teething issues, and I'm sure this is the first and the most appropriate way of handling this. So we will not take too much, but again, I will just echo what our CREDAI West Bengal president has said, is that the RERA implementation in West Bengal is going on smoothly. And as it ramps up over the next few months, you know, there's a date of 30th April for everybody to do the registration. That's very important. We must all adhere to it. And I must especially commend the state government for being able to change the legislation and propose it that up from 3 kattas onwards, all the properties and all the projects have to come under RERA. I think for all the structured builders, it's a great move, because removing the non-structured situation in the market is the most important thing for this regulation. And since I come from Howrah, Hooghly, and as I said in the last meeting, we need to work harder, because the city-specific developers are, you know, has much more scale, they understand much more, they have the ability. So we must make sure that the compliance is transparent, is easy to do, and we must also be strict in ensuring that the upcountry developers also get into the RERA platform. So that's the most important thing which I would like to say, but not too much. As I said, this is for your day to speak and for all of us to hear and answer. So thank you very much, and special thanks to the Principal Secretary, sir, and the RERA team led by the Chairman for found time to come and join us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will now request Shri Siddharth Pansari to also say a few words.
Thank you. Shri Rajesh Sinha, Honorable Principal Secretary, Shri Sandipan Mukherjee, Chairman RERA, officials of RERA, friends from the Housing Department, peers, colleagues from CREDAI, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure to be here, and very, very thankful to the Housing Department for conducting this session. I just have 2-3 points to make. One, please get your projects registered at RERA at the earliest without any delay. Please do not wait for any extension to come in. If there is any issue in registering your project, please reach out to whether it's CREDAI Bengal or CREDAI Howrah Hooghly so that we can take up the matter with the department. I would also like to thank the Housing Department. A working group on successful implementation of WBRERA and addressing the challenges in implementation has been formed, where all the presidents of all the chapters are a part of it. So a working group has been formed. So wherever you are facing any issue, any challenge, please bring it to us. We will take it up for them. If you know of any other state that has passed any enabling order or any better solution to a problem, please bring us that to us so that we know we can take it up with the department and they can also address it. Lastly, amongst all we are working with many government departments, but the housing department is one of the most helpful and the cooperative departments. That is why this working group has also been formed. So once again, thanks a lot, sir, for creating that group, by which I'm very, very sure we'll be able to address whatever small or big problems come, and together we can lead at faster implementation. I would also like to welcome and thank the team from ICICI Bank today. Akash is not here, but he's joining. They have a special presentation on the implementation of the escrow account and how it will work. They have flown in a team from Bombay to help and educate members about that. With that, I'd like to thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I will now request Shri Sandipan Mukherjee to kindly deliver his speech. Sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's very heartening to see a good number CREDAI have turned up here today. Have your views and your problems so that we can address them in a proper manner. So today's workshop will be hearing you all and trying to respond to your queries and things like that. And before we begin the session, I would like to tell you certain things that WBRERA is following after its previous form was abandoned by the order of the Supreme Court. There are many questions that come up now. What happens to projects which had not been approved by WBRERA and they still want to come now? How do they proceed? The answer to this is those projects who had got their approval under WBRERA have been saved by the order of the Supreme Court. So they will be performing or working as any other approved project. Approved projects have to submit their quarterly progress reports. Until today, you don't have that facility to submit it online. But we are already working on it, and I think by end of April, online submission of quarterly progress reports will be in place. Those projects which had not been able to get approval under WBRERA, but they had applied and maybe under process, they will have to apply again to WBRERA as a fresh proposal. And with new fresh payment. And I'm very happy to say that Sinha Sahab has already taken steps so that we can return your money that you had deposited under WBRERA. Maybe it will take a little more time, but it will be coming back. And as regards the current projects, we are introducing certain changes as compared to HERA, some more affidavits and all we are taking, so that there is some subtle changes in the HERA Acts and rules and the RERA Act and rule, so that we can cover these up without creating much problem for you. And those projects which had been working without either HERA or RERA approval, they will have to take approval from RERA within the end of April. So please advise your members so that they can take their approvals immediately, as fast as possible. Because after this thing, after April 30th, things will change and will only create problems from both of us and the allottees at the same time. So this is a request from our side that you please submit your proposals as fast as possible. And we will try to approve them as quickly as possible. And that we can do with your help only. For this, I request that while applying and filling up the forms, please stick to the formats given in the rule. Do not insert separate conditions which are not there in the rule or separate approach, so that we don't have to return it to you time and again. With that, I would like to thank you once again and conclude my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Rajesh Kumar Sinha, sir, to kindly address us.
Mr. Sandipan Mukherjee, Honorable Chairman RERA, Shri Sushil Mohta ji, President CREDAI West Bengal, Shri Tamal Ghosh, President Howrah Hooghly CREDAI, Shri Siddharth Pansari, President CREDAI Bengal. We have on the dais Mr. Debasis Ghosh, Joint Secretary Law, Housing Department, and Mr. Akash from ICICI Bank. We have team from RERA. They're led by the Secretary RERA, the Law Officer of RERA, and we also have the one person from the developer team who has developed the software for us. And I'm happy to see that so many members of the real estate fraternity have turned in today, both offline and also maybe online. They have joined us to listen to this discourse. You may be aware that this implementation of RERA Act in the state of West Bengal has a little bit checkered history. First, RERA came up for the entire country. Then we came up with a new act for the state of West Bengal, which got struck down in 2021 by Honorable Supreme Court. And after that, RERA has been started being implemented in the state. We came up with the rules. The authority has been constituted. The tribunal has been constituted. And in the end of January, we have launched our website. And from 1st of February, we have made it mandatory that all the ongoing projects and all future projects from that day onwards will have to mandatorily register with RERA on the website, and all communications will be online. After that, we had one workshop with CREDAI West Bengal, which is mostly CREDAI Calcutta, and CREDAI Howrah Hooghly members in the housing department, where Honorable Minister was also present. There we discussed a few things, and then we decided that we'll have a special working group consisting of all the CREDAI chapters and the RERA members, so that this act being new, there is no problem in implementation or any issues which come up are brought to the notice of the government, and we immediately find a solution for that. So, as requested by Mr. Pansari, we are going to have the meeting, first meeting of this working group in the next week itself, on 29th. I would request him to inform other members of the working group to be present on that day at 11:30 a.m. at my office, so that we can discuss it for the first time in presence of all members, and I'll be there personally to remain present in the meeting to discuss all the issues. Beyond that, you can have meetings on a regular basis where you can bring your issues or whatever you want to change, whatever suggestions you have to the working group. Working group will discuss among themselves and then place a recommendation to us, to the government, to make changes if required. As already pointed out, that this act is going to be a watershed moment for the entire industry. As Mohtaji has just rightly put it, that as SEBI is for stock market, RERA is going to be for the real estate developers and real estate industry. Whatever issues have come up in last couple of months have been brought to our notice, and we have already reacted to many of them. Today we have also come prepared, and we'll discuss some of them here and maybe try to find out a solution as to issues or problems being faced by you. But this act being new and the implementation being thought of in a very in a new manner, we'll have to come up with suggestions rather than problems. We'll have to come up with our own suggestions, our own ways of doing things, rather than raising issues, raising problems here and there. So all of us are requested, all of you are requested to suggest ways and means as to how we can make it more effective, more useful, and better for where all the three actors of this particular industry, the government, the real estate promoters, and the consumers, have a win-win situation. We have a presentation from WBRERA where we'll discuss how the website has been launched, what is to be done to get a member registered, a project registered, and a broker to be registered in the who is called an agent also under the Act, to be registered on the website. What changes, if required, can be done later on, how the quarterly progress report and annual progress report has to be submitted, what documents are required for registration, and so on and so forth. So, and in the course of presentation, if you have any issues, you please note it down. During the question and answer session, we'll try to address all those issues. So, since we have a long presentation as well as a lot of discussions to take place, I'll stop here and we'll discuss when the question and answer sessions come to clarify any doubt or issue or any thing which has come up during these discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Mr. Sushil Mohta, before we proceed further, to kindly felicitate Mr. Akash Raghav, who's with us now. And I will also request Shri Pansari to kindly felicitate Mr. Shumon De, who's the Finance Officer of WBRERA. Thank you. I will now invite Ms. Srimati Shoma De to make the presentation on WBRERA.
I am now giving a small presentation on the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016 and the West Bengal Real Estate Regulation and Development Rules 2021. Government of West Bengal has framed the West Bengal Real Estate Regulation and Development Rules 2021 to implement the provisions of the Central Act, namely the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016, which is the RERA Act, and established a state authority named as West Bengal Real Estate Regulatory Authority, which is WBRERA. Government of West Bengal has also established the West Bengal Real Estate Appellate Tribunal, WBRERA, to hear appeals from the decisions, directions or orders of the WBRERA authority as per RERA Act and rules. The salient features of RERA Act and RERA rules. Every promoter or developer is to apply mandatorily for online registration of every real estate project to the WBRERA authority through the WBRERA website www.rera.wb.gov.in, where the area of land proposed to be developed is more than 500 square meter, which is 7.475 katha, or the number of apartments proposed to be developed are more than 8. No promoter or developer shall advertise, market, book or sell any real estate project without registering the real estate project with WBRERA authority, where the registration is mandatory. After registration of the project, the promoter or developer has to upload quarterly the status of construction of the project in the WBRERA website, which will be available for public view, and the home buyer will be able to know the status and progress of the project in which he has booked or intends to book the flat and take decision accordingly. At the time of registration of the project, the commencement date and completion date will be declared by the promoter or developer, and the registration of the project will be valid till the date of completion of the project as declared by the promoter or developer. In this way, delay in making construction will be restricted. 70% of the amounts realized from the allotees for the real estate projects shall be deposited by the promoters in a separate account maintained in a scheduled bank to cover the cost of construction and the land cost, and shall be used only for that purpose. The project should be developed and completed by the promoter in accordance with the sanction plans as approved by the competent authorities, and any addition and alterations in the sanction plan should not be done by the promoter without the previous written consent of 2/3 of the home buyers who have booked flat in the project. A promoter or developer will not be able to accept a sum more than 10% of the cost of the apartment, plot or building as an advance payment or an application fee without first entering into a registered agreement for sale. The promoter shall hand over physical possession of the flat to the home buyer within the time period as specified in the agreement for sale. And he shall be bound to register a conveyance deed or deed of sale in favor of the allotee and hand over the occupancy certificate or the completion certificate, papers relating to water, etc., and other necessary documents and plans to the home buyer within the specified time as per the extant act and rules. If the promoter fails to hand over possession of the flat within the specified time as agreed between the parties, then as per the wish of the home buyer, he will either refund the entire amount paid by the allotee along with interest at the rate of SBI prime lending rate plus 2%, or he may deliver possession of the flat to the home buyer along with compensation for the delay period. Now we come to the functioning of WBRERA website. As provided in the Act and Rules, the WBRERA website has been inaugurated by Honorable Minister in Charge, Housing, Power and Youth Services and Sports Department, Government of West Bengal on 31st January 2023. In the WBRERA website, there are mainly 4 types of functions: registration of real estate project, registration of real estate agent or broker, filing of complaint, and public viewing of documents. Registration of real estate project. Every promoter must apply online through the WBRERA website to register their residential and or commercial projects where the area of land proposed to be developed is more than 500 square meter, or the number of apartments proposed to be developed are more than 8. At the time of registration, he has to give the brief details of his enterprise, project, location details, number and details of the flats or units, number and areas of garage, etc. He must also declare all the facilities of the project which they advertised in the brochure of their project. The carpet area, common area as advertised by the promoter. The agreement for sale shall have to be prepared following the provisions of RERA Act and WBRERA rules. The promoter or developer must specifically mention the date of delivery of the flat to the home buyers in the agreement for sale. Promoter has to upload certain documents for registration of his project like title deed of the land to be developed, sanction plan, layout plan, etc. and pro forma allotment letter, agreement for sale and conveyance deed, etc. Promoter has to upload documents of environment clearance, papers relating to water, sewage, sewerage, etc., permission from local authority, NOC from fire department, height clearance where applicable, etc. And he has to deposit the requisite fees for registration of his project with WBRERA through the payment gateway provided in the website. The land proposed to be developed consists of both residential and commercial projects. Registration fees shall be imposed in proportion to residential and commercial area. And now the registration is valid only for the period which the promoter has declared in his application. If the project is not completed within that period, then extension may be, for extension, application may be done by the promoter. The authority may extend the validity of registration period of registered projects under force majeure condition on application made by a promoter in Form E as contained in WBRERA rules. The authority may, in reasonable circumstances, without any default on part of the promoter, based on the facts of each case, extend the period. Extension may be granted for a maximum period of 1 year. Authority may reject such application after due examination of the facts of each case and after giving a chance to the applicant to be heard. Now, in the Act and rules, there are certain duties and responsibilities of the allottees. Every real estate agent or broker who facilitates the sale or purchase of a flat, apartment or building has to make an application mandatorily to the authority through the website for registering himself as a real estate agent. For registration as an agent, he has to give the brief details of his enterprise, including his name, address, type of enterprise, etc., photograph of the real estate agent, authenticated copy of PAN card, and IT returns. Real estate agent has to deposit the requisite fees for registration of his project with WBRERA through the payment gateway provided in the website of a sum of rupees 25,000 in case of individual and rupees 2,50,000 in case of anyone other than individual. Now, there is another aspect of the Act, which is the filing of complaint by the allottees. If any agreed person may file a complaint with the WBRERA authority for any of the following reasons. The reasons may be that the promoter failed to hand over the possession within due time, or more money is demanded towards cost of the flat, does not provide the facilities as promised in the agreement for sale, etc. In such cases, the home buyer may lodge complaint either offline or online mode to the West Bengal Real Estate Regulatory Authority through the website rera.wb.gov.in on a payment of a fee of rupees 1,000. Authority will make speedy disposal of each complaint in accordance with law through hearing of necessary parties. Following penalties may be imposed upon by the WBRERA authority. I am not going into the details, but there are provisions for imposition of penalties in case the authority's orders are not complied by the promoter or in cases the allottees. There is provision for compensation All complaints demanding compensation shall have to be submitted to and dealt with by the adjudicating officer appointed by the WBRERA authority. Compensation when claimed, when a person makes a booking of any apartment on the basis of information and sustains any loss or damage by reason of any incorrect or false statement, he can claim compensation. In case of any structural defect or any other defect in the workmanship, quality, etc., he can also, within 5 years from the date of handover, then in that case also the allotee may claim compensation. I am not going into the details. In case of giving the compensation, by adjudging the compensation, facts of each case shall be taken into account by the adjudicating officer. No civil court shall have jurisdiction to entertain any suit for proceeding in respect of any matter which the authority or the adjudicating officer or the appellate tribunal is empowered by or under this act to determine, and no injunction shall be granted by any court or other authority in respect of any action taken or to be taken in pursuance of any power conferred by or under this act. Fate of cases under WBRERA. Applications for registrations which were approved before 4th May 2021 will remain valid and shall continue to submit quarterly progress report to WBRERA website, and that provision will be in place from the end of April 2023. Provision for such submission is in the process and shall be functional soon. Applications which are under process, that is the applications which have not got the registration, it was under process under HERA, they have to apply fresh in the WBRERA for registration, and the money shall be refunded in due course. It may take some time, but the refund shall be made. Those applications for registration which have been approved under WBRERA need not apply again to WBRERA for registration. A decision on the fate of orders for execution of cases referred to the appropriate authority by the then WBRERA is presently pending with Supreme Court. The orders which have been passed by the RERA authority, whether by the HERA authority, whether they are valid or not, it is pending in a case in a Supreme Court. The hearing will be done on 5th of April 2023. Okay, I end my project submission here.
Thank you, madam.
Can I just add 3 things which she maybe did not explain that way? First is the agreement for sale. The agreement for sale shall be as per the draft given in the rules. It cannot be different. Just remember this. Then the second is about the deed of conveyance. Deed of conveyance, which will be done. The Supreme Court is seized with the matter, and they are trying to formulate a model deed of conveyance for registration of the apartment or flats. So that will also be coming within a month or so. So that will have to be followed for registration of the flats or conveying it in the name of the consumers. Those 2 things I had wanted to mention.
Thank you, sir. I will now request Mr. Rajesh Yadav of ICICI Bank to make the presentation on WBRERA from the banking perspective.
Hi friends, a very good afternoon to all. This is Rajesh Yadav from ICICI Bank. I wish to represent ICICI Bank in this particular forum. Thanks to the dignitary present on this particular dais for giving me a chance and ICICI Bank to present actually about ICICI Bank in front of you. Before coming here, there were lots of questions which we were getting from the client's side, saying that how do we operate a banking relationship with under the ecosystem of RERA. So here I will be presenting to you about RERA, what ICICI Bank has in their point, as well as whatever are your particular doubts and other things, we can answer all those types of questions from our side. First of all, let me present to you is that under this whole ecosystem, what ICICI Bank is bringing to you, in this ecosystem, basically, if you see, we can give you all the particular requirements of right from your construction of the building as well as to your home buyers, everyone. We have each and every one, some or the other slots available. Example, project-wise funding, we can give it to you. Then collections, whatever these buyers will be there, will be helping you out with respect to that, as well as we can help you out to give you information about regulatory information, whatever we get it from the RERA authorities, we can pass down to you, as well as timely payments to your lenders, or maybe your various types of payments, whatever you are giving to your particular client, we can give you these types of solutions, as well as there are lots of problem for a particular builder to identify whose payment has been received, and doing a recon is a huge, humongous task for the customers. So it is little bit difficult for a particular builder to identify that who has made the particular payment and how to do the recon. So we have a solution from our side, which I wish to present it to you from our end. Basically, this is your life cycle, which we have understood it. First is you people purchase a particular land where the builder puts its own fund, as well as financial closure. If you want, as a bank, ICICI Bank can help you out for giving the financial closure. We have various construction finance loans, term loans available with us. You can connect with our banking team, right from retail as well as transaction banking team. We'll be giving you various types of requirement. If you have, definitely you can reach out to us. Then I will wish to inform you that we have construction-based various types of solutions been available. Sales and leasing solution has been there. Then we help you out for collections, maintenance, and as well as servicing for your particular loan requirement we can give you. Here, as ICICI Bank, I wish to inform you that we are in this particular escrow business since last 2004. And approximately 18,000 plus deals we have done till now, as well as what we can do and help you out is that we can create a standard agreement for each builder, so that there is a huge, humongous task for opening a RERA escrow account with any of the bank. So in ICICI, we can help you out to standardize your RERA agreements and get this account opened on an urgent basis, as well as the basic requirement under a RERA guideline is you have to give the escrow banker's account number, that is your collections and payments account details to the, while doing the RERA registration. We can speed it and help you out to get that particular account number from our side. As well as we have our own dedicated regulatory as well as compliance advisors who can help you out if there is any glitch in your particular agreement, or if you are facing any type of problem, definitely we can help you out. As well as the quick turnaround time could be assured from our side is that you will be getting a much more speedy timeline from our side and don't have to run from pillar to the post. The various types of deals under RERA, what we do from our side is basically about the commercial arrangement as well as credit linked arrangements. We have various solutions been available, which has been displayed on your screen right now. We help you out for doing your lending arrangements, real estate transactions, mergers and acquisitions. If there is any merger and acquisition between the project has been going on, we can help you out with respect to that, as well as sale and purchase of the transaction. We can help you out. Lease rent discounting also we can guide you. Further, we also do RERA accounts opening. Further, under the credit link arrangement, we can help you out with respect to project financing, trust and retention account we can give you, and construction lending also we can guide you. The basic flow of any RERA escrow account is the utilization of the amount. So under RERA, if you open an account, we will be giving you these three accounts which has been displayed on the screen is a 100% collection account. Then we can split that particular 100% collection account to 70 and 30. And 70 as per the RERA regulation. I was going through your RERA Act, which you are giving an undertaking to the RERA authorities that the amount which you are going to withdraw from the RERA escrow account will be utilized as per the CA certificate being given based on engineer and architect certificate. These guidelines we can help you out to comply and give you a particular solution. As well as your current account, that is the 30% wala split wala account, is actually helping you out to utilize for your particular project funding. We can help you out to solutionize about that particular thing which we have. Further, under this 170 relationship, we can give you bulk payments option, where you can utilize the money as per your requirement and needs. Further, there are various types of solution being available under payments. I know each and every person sitting here will be facing a huge ups and downs, where to do a recon whether the payment has reached to the other person or not. Those types of advices also we can help you out and reduce your timeline by doing a API and host-to-host integration directly with your ERP. Whichever ERP you have, we can do a host-to-host connectivity, as well as we can do a real-time API integration, where sitting at your corporate office, all the particular projects and other details will be visible on your particular screen. As I was speaking to you about collections, we have beautiful procedures and solution being available right from day one. As I was hearing the conversation which was been going on, that you people will be doing the registration, and after the registration has been completed, then only you can do the marketing and other things. So right from the day one, dedicated web app we can help you out to create for your particular buyers, where you can track that who has visited your particular site, as well as if he wants to do an initial payment also, those tracking also we can help you out right from the day one. And post launch, we can give you a e-collection solution, where we can create and help you out by providing virtual IDs to each of your buyers, as well as you will be able to do a recon at your office by a limited manpower. We can help you out by providing these types of solution. Also, as ICICI, on a daily basis, if required, we can help you out to do a check pickup facility also. We can give it to you if you have check pickup facility, and provide a real-time MIS through the API wala mechanism under the check collection module. Further, as ICICI Bank has been known for digital solution, we can, if you have a lots of agreement which needs to be done along with your lender, we can help you out to solutionize those types of solution from our side by doing a e-stamping and e-signing of the agreement. And we have various types of solution which has been available with us with respect to e-sign and IDSC. You can connect with our team. We can guide you that how you can utilize this particular beautiful feature which has been introduced by Government of India for signing the agreements digitally. And under the collection and payment stack, I have already informed we have various types of technologies being available, right from NACH, auto debit. We have iSurePay product, where your buyers or any person, if they wish to make a payment across ICICI 5,000 plus branches, we can give you the cash and check collection facility also. Simultaneously, we provide you online banking facilities, where automation is very easy with your ERP. You can get it integrated and make the payments. Further, there are lots of hitches which anyone basically faces in their particular businesses about the tax payment. And the tax payment, when it comes, it is basically making the payment right and online. If we give you a particular access, you will be able to make the payment before the deadlines. We have direct tax APIs, we have GST, we have state taxes being integrated, as well as we have custom duty and various your regulatory compliances, that is EPFO and ESIS services we can give it to you, which can help you out basically for complying to the tax regulations. As I have already informed you that under the WBRERA ecosystem, we provide you corporate internet banking, various types of services has been there, whatever I have told you, various MISs and other things we can give it to you. These statements which we provide from our side is as per your discretion. We give you the details in CSV or Excel or any HTML or any other format, and as per your particular requirement, the types of the statement could be given it to you as per your frequency being decided between you and ICICI Bank. Further, we have a corporate API suite. All the types of APIs, whichever has been available for onboarding a particular client, these APIs has been available with ICICI Bank, and we'll be happy to give and expose all the types of APIs available with ICICI Bank under corporate API suite. We'll be happy to give it to you, sir. Further, for your employees, we have a solution with respect to payrolls. Under this particular payroll solution, we can give it to you various baskets of products, which has been right now displaying onto the screen, right from payment solutions, account opening, loans for your team, for your people, as well as we can give it to you insurance solutions, as well as various types of growth opportunities have been available. Further, as ICICI Bank also provides private banking solutions, so we have various types of banking and investment as well as succession plan being available with us, which we can help you out beyond banking also. Services could be given from ICICI Bank. And if you have a relationship with ICICI, I can rest assure you that one particular relationship manager will be assigned to each and every corporate here, and you don't have to speak to n number of team members or n number of people. Just this one relationship manager will be a game changer for you. He will be solving all your hurdles. He will be solving all your particular problems, and you don't have to run from pillar to the post. That's all I wish to say from my side. Thank you.
Before we even start the RERA question and whatever, one small request to Akash ji. See, a lot of these funds are getting there in the escrow account. A lot of members had a suggestion if you could work with the bank and create a mechanism where some interest is being paid on this escrow account. IDFC used to earlier pay to us. So iska agar aap kar sake, it will help both in compliance for members. They will feel, because crores of money, sir, is lying in that escrow. We are also having a lot of challenges where landowners are not getting the money. So they are also after us to pay some interest. So isko, if you can figure out.
So, thank you. So thank you. I take your point on that, and we will possibly, of course, look at it. Just adding to that point, one point which I want to kind of also add is this this entire escrow provision, and I'm sure all of you here on the stage and all the developers, the kind of work that all of you are doing, it looks like we are developers, but I see that you are home providers to so many of the people that you provide home. So people get their first home, such an emotional thing for people, and I always believe, and since this discussion is always believe that when any industry is regulated, the industry, the players who are really transparent, open, ready, they will definitely do very, very well in a very, very regulated industry, because consumers become more confident, consumers become so that is, from this specific point, I have registered this your request, and we will, of course, see this.
Create a mechanism, because see, it's not only about homes that we construct. There are large infrastructure projects that are getting created. There are large malls that are getting created. So a lot of cases, lot of amount might sit through crores of money. So, if you do that, compliance will be easy from the landowner side. For the government also, it is good, because then people, better compliance will happen. Because on one hand, you are paying a very higher construction interest on construction costs, which you are charging from another pocket. So just keep it in mind. The earlier we can do that, and whenever you have more tailor-made solutions, we'll request you to.
You are right. Your point is registered, and I shall.
In case of a major default, God forbid, it does not happen. But if it happens, the RERA authority can take over the project and take over the account and get the project developed on their own. So in that case, it will be better if you also provide interest to that account, so that the money grows and they ultimately be able to build the project.
And operationalizing of this escrow, and since operationalizing of this escrow is also very important mechanism. How it is operationalized? Typically, see, this is experience I am talking about, and I was talking to sir here. 2017-16, when it got operationalized in Mumbai RERA, and this incident was, I was fortunate to be part of that Mumbai team that point in time. 16-17, and that was possibly first time the road was getting made. Now many roads are existing, so we can replicate, and we can replicate quickly. So the only point which I am saying is escrow operationalization of builders initially faced a lot of problem because how the interpretation of the whatever this escrow direction is coming from the developer, how it is getting interpreted by the person who's interpreting it, how is it coming to the bank. This entire piece initially created hiccups. Then later on, I'm sure we will have learnings from other places also that we can.
We can have a separate session once you have some solutions, especially on the escrow part. With today there are more legal teams, perhaps more finance teams on how to make it better, how to make it more seamless. Even you mentioned something very good about giving customer a virtual account or password. So we'll figure that out separately.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Sir, one more request from the audience before we open it. This is more on the broker side, sir. Sir, brokers are very important stakeholders of ours. Now, all these brokers had paid money and got registered under HERA. The Supreme Court order covers projects and registrations, but it's silent. So, technically, the brokers के बिना ये ecosystem चलेगा नहीं. So, if some clarification order can be passed that whether they need to get registered again.
As far as I remember, the broker registration is project-wise. It is not. Is
Sir,
it not?
broker registration is one registration, which they can use for multiple projects.
Okay.
So technically,
In that case,
sir,
we'll take a call on this.
तो इसको सर जितना जल्दी कर देनी तो ecosystem मतलब project के साथ broker registration is more
इसको जरा
important.
note कर लीजिए. We'll do something about it.
Sir, our request is what should happen in the case of natural justice. They can, if they need to reapply, they reapply, but no fees should get charged to them because they've already paid whatever amount was. Now open it to the audience for any questions, answers, suggestions, inputs.
Thank you, sir, for the quick implementation of WBRERA in West Bengal and for setting up this working committee where some of our members are also there. I have 2 points.
Before you start, I'll just read out the Supreme Court order which says that under Article 142, we direct that the striking down of WBRERA will not affect the registrations, sanctions, and permissions previously granted under the legislation prior to the date of this judgment. So that will automatically cover the registered brokers.
Please go ahead.
I had 2 points, sir. First being a suggestion. In WBRERA, they have come up with something known as a conciliation and dispute resolution forum, which is a body before the allotee goes to WBRERA officially in the complaint mode. This is a forum which is set up, which can amicably resolve the dispute between the promoter and the allotee. So if something like that can be looked at, it will help in more transparency and lesser workload for the authority, as well as amicable and quick resolution between the allotee and the promoter. That was 1 point.
You see, whenever we are having a complaint case and we begin a hearing, the first thing that we say, if you can settle it amicably, we will be most happy. And some of them do that. So I think that is quite, at the moment, it's working that way. Because at least some of the cases have been solved outside the WBRERA court, although they had filed a complaint. Right? No, sir, please.
Yeah, and let the working start. We have a working group which will look into all these problems later on also. And if required, we'll think something about it. But right now, let the projects or the working of WBRERA start. Let the complaints come in. Let's see how many complaints come and what are the complaints and how we go about solving them.
The second point was, sir, then the Act says that as promoters, we need to get the agreements registered in a period, I think it's 3 months. But as developer today, if I've sold a flat to him and I want to get my agreement registered, if he's not willing to come up and register it, the foundation, the penalty comes on me. But there is no protection of the promoter if the allotee himself is not coming and registering the agreement. What is the mechanism for that?
It happens. See, a person has booked a flat. He has paid some amount, say 5%, 8%, or even 10%. But he is not registering the agreement. Some of the customers are a bit smart. They think that if they register the agreement, then they have to pay the next. Because without registered agreement, we cannot ask the next installment. Now, we are giving him notices also that you please come and register as per the WBRERA rule number so and so. You have to register. हाँ करते हैं, मैं थोड़ा सा बाहर जा रहा हूँ, ये है वो है. They delay it, which adversely impact our cash flow, sir. So if we can have some mechanism where, these errant customers who are trying to abuse the system can be also checked, sir. That is am I correct? Yes. Yeah. And one more problem I'll add, sir. Suppose if customer has cancelled, he is not making the payment. And in spite of notice, giving him enough chances, this, that, he is not making. So we have cancelled it also. Now, as per Registration Act, a registered document can only be cancelled by another registered document. if he doesn't come, I cannot forcefully bring him. So the lacuna remains, the property remains blocked. So we need solution, these two burning problems, solution from the authorities. One is that if somebody is not coming for registration. Second is if I have cancelled with proper notice and with when there is no fault on part of the developer, he is not coming to register the document. Rather he starts blackmailing sometime. ना मेरा तो स्टाम्प का इतना पैसा लगे वो भी आप दीजिए, मेरे को ब्याज भी दीजिए, ये सिचुएशन होती है सर. करेक्ट नो?
हाँ सर, फर्स्ट केस में बहुत बार रजिस्ट्रेशन इसलिए भी नहीं होता है सर, फर्स्ट केस में बहुत बार रजिस्ट्रेशन इसलिए भी नहीं कराते कि दे आर कंफ्यूज कि सोचिए विल इट बी द नेम ऑफ फादर एंड सन.
वो अलग चीज है.
तो let me just clarify here that a dispute can be raised either by the customer or the promoter or even by the broker. Anybody can raise the dispute in front of the authority, and if authority gives an order that that particular deed is cancelled or the agreement is cancelled, that should be valid in law, isn't it? Then you will have to. Then the registering authority will cancel that agreement.
No sir, वैसा नहीं होता sir. The buyer and seller both have to go to and
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन अगर रेरा as an authority order करता है कि ये cancel हो गया, then we can move the registering authority saying कि ये cancel हो गया.
हाँ तो वो फिर registration authority से एक बार
Exactly, वो हम लोग बात कर लेंगे.
तो है committee में तुम्हारे.
Okay, we are ready for the next question.
In this case, dispute can be raised by anybody. All three of the parties can raise the dispute.
Can somebody
take? Authority will come up with
Sanjukta, we need
an
some
order.
Microphones everywhere.
Yes.
This particular case.
Yeah, kindly just identify yourself and ask the question.
Hello. Basically, I'm an advocate attached with KIC Resources Limited. My 3 suggestions are there. One suggestion is to upload the presentation.
Mic को थोड़ा पास में लेके बोलिए. मुंह के पास लेके बोलिए.
My suggestion first is to upload the presentation print over here in the website or YouTube, whatever it is, to spread the message. Number one. Number two is regarding these car parking spaces. In the document, the section, it is written that only covered car parking spaces, not with the open car parking spaces. What happened to the open car parking spaces? Because we get sanction from the corporation authority about the open car parking space also. But if you can't deal with the thing, what will happen to that? And third one is, sir, regarding the agreement, what you just said now, that we can't change the agreement, what is already given to us. Basically, we need to cover the buyer's safety, security, as well as us, whatever it is. But in the nowadays, I'm finding that now the agreement which is coming out, more than 50, 60 pages, each agreement. In view of this eco-friendly, whatever it is, green view, whatever we're talking of, can we reduce the volume of the pages as such?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Let me take first thing first. The presentation will be put up on our website. Please do that. Second is about open car parking space. Open car parking space is not defined in RERA Act, so you cannot earmark it or sell it. Leave it to the apartment owners association to earmark and then use it as they want. We cannot specify as the government or as the authority that these can be earmarked or sold. And covered car parking space is not yet defined in the Act, but we'll see that if we can define it in the rules.
Okay. Yes, gentleman there. Please, the microphone.
Good evening, sir. I have 2 questions. My name is Prince and I am from Diamond Group. My first query, sir.
Sir, please bring your mic to your mouth.
Hello, sir. So I have 2 queries, sir. The first is how to determine the land cost if the landowner is the developer and in case of joint venture projects. And can we have my second question is, sir, can we have a standard format for architect, engineer, and CA certificate for withdrawing the money?
This architect, CA, and other certificates which are there, we are developing a standard format. We'll put it on the website. And as far as the land cost is concerned, the price that you have paid for the land is the land cost. In case it is your own land, in that case, I think the IGR land cost will be the land cost.
Okay, the next question, please. Yes. You need to be faster with the microphones, whoever. There's somebody there. Please.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Pradipta Das, representing Jabinai Group. My question is, a project which has been already registered under HERA, whether can get extension as provided, and it was provided in the Act, to the RERA authority. Thank you, sir.
There is provision for extension under RERA. So you have to apply for extension.
I'm talking about projects which have already registered under HERA.
Yeah.
We can apply to the RERA.
HERA projects approved projects can apply for extension under RERA. Only thing is that when you get a RERA extension, you'll get a RERA number, new number. Your HERA number will be dead. It is already dead, although the project is live.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Documents and so if that same number can continue, sir. हाँ सर वो आप figure out कर लीजिए.
Just make RERA instead of HERA.
Sir, दूसरा we are not pressing, but lot of members have reached out to us कि हुआ क्या था sir during when COVID first happened. So that time the department was active. So department suo moto gave a 1-year extension on the first phase of COVID. जैसे ही first wave strike हुआ यार nobody knew what will happen. उसके बाद the second wave came, sir. By the time the second wave came or the Omnicron wave came, sir, department as far as HERA was concerned थोड़ा non-functional हो गया था, sir. तो lot of members have requested जो पहले एक extension मिला, उसके बाद HERA projects को suo moto कोई extension नहीं मिला. तो that, sir, when we meet, we'll 12 months, I think. 9 sir.
9 plus 3.
9 plus 3.
9 plus 3.
Then the quota is over.
We are just,
you get my point.
Sir, on behalf of our members, it is our request. We are requesting. You can consider it.
नहीं.
First wave का मिला. Second wave Omnicron का नहीं मिला. Because sir, the department had got. So sir, you can consider it.
No, I'll just put in a viewpoint here. In terms of the order of Honorable Supreme Court, all limitations were extended for the entire 1.5 years. In all cases. So that can be taken in here,
yes,
and accordingly it can be extended.
Perfect. Yes, next question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please go ahead.
Sir, myself Nikhil Shah. I am a small developer. I'm having a question that in case if we get any vertical extension due to increase in FAR, then in that case we need to apply for this vertical extension only. So will there be any option for that?
RERA, any extension is allowed, vertical or horizontal, but as per the frame, you need 70% approval of the existing buyers. That clause is there in the. So the next 6 floors will have a different RERA number, but you will call phase 2 or whatever, but you will need 70% approval from the current buyers.
You see, extension in vertical or horizontal expansion, this is a normal situation. Because in many cases you get extra FAR and you can go up or around. So you can always apply. And as Mr. Pansari said, for these extension proposals, since this is a deviation from the original proposal, 70% of the allottees who have already paid or paying, they have to agree to it. Once they agree, you apply to us, we will call you, talk to you, and approve it. That is the procedure.
Okay, I think
that we are making provision for that.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Sir, in an agreement to sale, carpet area is being considered, but at the time of registration of flat, super built-up area is considered. So this itself creates an anomaly on the part of the
Sir, government is contemplating that even at time of registration, the stamp duty will be on the carpet area. It is contemplating, and I think it will come very soon.
Okay. Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, just I've heard that whenever any flat is being cancelled under RERA, 1% of the amount will be recovered from the customer as well, directly from the government. So that part will be recovered from the developer side only, or the government directly will be recovering that amount from the... So at the time of cancellation of flat, so far as I have heard, 1% of the amount will be recovered from the customer by the government. So that part will be recovered.
No, there's no such rule.
Okay.
I'm not aware of anything like this.
Next question, please. Yes, in the front. There. You can give him there. Yeah, please.
Hello, my name is Kirti from Unimark. I had a question regarding the defect liability period. As per RERA, there's a 5-year defect liability period. But many times what happens is, we get our project completion certificate, but the handover process takes time, maybe due to the customer, he's not paying or he has, some formalities to complete. So many times we see is that process takes, a decent amount of time. So could you please clarify that regarding the defect liability period, is that valid from the date of CC or is that valid from the handover time to the customer?
I think as per the RERA Act, it is from the date of handover to the customer, isn't it?
Okay, but in these scenarios, like Sushil uncle was saying.
Sir, this is a central act. We cannot change it right here in the discussion.
Okay.
You'll have to raise it with the central body and let them take a decision.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever issues like this are coming up, you can let us know. We can coordinate with CREDAI National, or we can ask sirs, like for a couple of issues, they've been very kind enough to write on our behalf to the central. So whatever problems we'll note it down and we can refer whatever they feel it's worthy to be taken up with the center, they will try and take it up with the center in due course.
I will add, suppose you have unsold inventory also. Okay, you got CC, but the flat is sold after 2 years. Now, a customer after 2 years is buying, he has seen the flat and in 2 years there may be some natural wear and tear also. So ideally it should be from the date of CC. But as sir has said, it's law, which is something made by central government, parliament. So something, if there is any, sir, our humble prayer is that if there is any solution to this, if it can be found, sir. This is a genuine problem, sir.
Okay, can we have the next question?
Sir.
Yeah.
So there's no clarity regarding the MLCP, whether it can be covered under the covered parking or not.
We have already referred the representation received from CREDAI to central government. But at the same time, we have discussed among ourselves that we'll define the covered car parking, which is there in many other areas. So in that case, once covered car parking is defined, you can use it for your agreement purpose or maybe for selling purposes.
So my second...
Just to brief everybody, the overall car parking solution problem, whether it is open car park or mechanical car park or covered car park, we've raised it with the authorities. They are also studying it. Some part they've said they'll refer to Delhi. Some part they've already referred. Some part they're deliberating within themselves on how to solve the problem. We are trying to find a solution, all chapters put together.
So second question regarding the phase-wise development. If there is phase-wise development and if we have handed over the first phase, but the amenities were supposed to be given in the second phase and the second phase gets delayed because of any tenant issues or any land encroachment or something. So what happens to, what is the fate of that? Because there is naturally going to be some discrepancy and...
You see, you have promised something to somebody. Later on, you cannot say that you have got embroiled into a legal case or legal issues and you will not be able to provide that. That is not acceptable.
Sir, actually, we've raised this issue with you also when we meet with this. Sir, actually, Hira mein there was an option where you could define phase-wise, but with each phase you needed to define what amenities will go. So
but the law mein jo hai wahi karna padega.
All right, can we have the next question? Right there.
Hello, good evening, sir. This is Niloy Bhattacharya. I have one question in regard to the sale agreement. Is it absolutely exhaustive, or if there are any conditions that comes to the mind of the developer that he intends to insert it in the sale agreement, is it allowed, which is not in contravention or against the act or the rule?
You mean the change in the model agreement? That's what you're talking about?
But not change, perhaps an addition, no, whether it is allowed or not.
You see, the model agreement or model draft deed will have certain provisions which are compulsory, which have to be given. And certain optional provisions will be there where you'll have to input your own conditions. Yeah. So these two entirely make the agreement.
Okay, so that is
There-
allowed.
There is a provision to insert certain more conditions, isn't it? But it should be, yeah, in the line of the other conditions and as per law.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions?
Good evening, gentlemen. As we were discussing about the extension part, be it horizontal or vertical, so as the gentleman said over there that we need to have a kind of documentation from 70% of the customers. So if at all, we insert a clause in the agreement itself regarding, that can be modified or that can be framed by the legal department of our, so will it work? Or we have to go for a separate documentation?
You see, even if you take, if you write it in the agreement, there's no harm. But you have to give us 70% of your allottees agreeing to it.
So in that case, so if at all the clause has been inserted in the agreement, so all 100% customers have agreed to it, isn't it, sir? I may be
but
wrong.
there is one clause in the Act where it is defined that you have to take permission from the two-thirds of the existing allottees and then approach us.
Okay. In that case, we have to go for a certain, separate documentation.
So for that, if you add to that, to your agreement also, you can submit that number of agreements to us.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, we're coming more or less to the close.
Just
we
a,
have couple of
just,
questions.
just a
Oh, sorry.
little bit I want to add here that you see by agreement you cannot change law. Law is there, you have to follow it.
Okay, we'll have the last 2-3 questions. So,
Hello.
Ashok bhai, it's right here in the front.
Can I?
Acha, aap bol lijiye.
Okay. Hello, this is Abhishek Tiwari from Prasad Group. I need one clarification. Suppose developer enter into a joint development agreement with a landowner in a revenue sharing basis. Suppose 50-50%. Can developer pay to the landowner from 70% escrow account towards mentioning as a land cost?
Sir, the 70% is an escrow account. Till the money comes to the 30%, you can't pay anything because the 70% is not in your control, it is in control of the bank.
Yeah, but land cost, what I'm saying like...
whatever has to be paid from 30%. 70% account का access ही आपके पास नहीं, आप उसको operate ही नहीं कर सकते हो. वो बैंक के पास वही escrow है. जब आप letter दोगे तब 70 से 30 में आएगा.
If CA mentioned that revenue, what I am paying to landowner as a revenue sharing, that is towards the land cost only, then...
You see, you must understand, you have to first go into definition project cost.
Yes.
A project cost consists of land also. So your CA has to understand what is the project cost. Suppose if you have already incurred say 10 crore rupees in the land, so that much of investment has already gone in and 1 crore rupees into say construction. Okay, so in total project is say imagine 100 crore, 10 crore, 1 crore you invested in construction. Sir, if I am wrong, please correct me. And total project is 100 crore. So your work completion certificate will be 11%. This is what my understanding. Am I correct, sir? So 11% तक का आपको पैसा मिलेगा, तो आपका 30% मिल गया और 70 से 11% जो भी उसका प्रोराटा वो मिल जाएगा. तो आपका तो फिर लैंड का तो पैसा आ ही जाएगा ना उसमें से. वैसे प्रोराटा आता रहेगा. And you pay your landlord.
Okay.
Ashok bhai.
So this is Ashok
70
Saraf.
से 30 तो ट्रांसफर करना ही पड़ेगा. But that is one letter.
This is Ashok Saraf from Sugam Group. This question actually is I received from some of my developer friends. So they had applied for HERA, but they did not get the registration because it was stuck down. So now, if they get the CC in between the 1st February and 30th April, then do they have to apply for HERA?
Very clear. If you can get it by April 30th, please don't come to us.
Okay.
Sir, will the refund will be made? HERA registration not done, project got CC. Will the refund be made?
I think sir had mentioned last time that whatever money they had received for HERA registration, but HERA was not granted, that money will be refunded. Sir, if I'm correct now.
That was decided.
वो irrespective आपको रेरा में रजिस्ट्रेशन का अलग पैसा देना है.
अब
ये
आप
पैसा आपको वापस मिल जाएगा अगर रजिस्ट्री नहीं हुआ तो. मनी बैक गारंटी.
अमित जी बोलिए.
Sir, 2-3 points, sir. One example which you gave that 1 crore have been spent out of 100 crores, then the project completion would be 1% only, and out of the 10 crores land, we can only withdraw 1%. So as per the definition, percentage of work completed, and the percentage of work completed would be ascertained from the construction, not like the 11%, sir. So this was, I think...
We will understand this.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Sir, second thing, sir, in this, the bank is always using escrow account, sir. So this is not an escrow account, this is a separate account. In the Act also, it is very well mentioned that it's a separate account. And from this separate account, the architect, engineer, and the chartered accountant would be certifying it, and the withdrawals would be for the project cost. So, sir, it's a separate account. Escrow account is the account where you give the loaning. When the loaning has been done, then it's been used. And, sir, thank you to the principal secretary, sir, and the team, where they have added 3 kattas for the RERA registration. There is one additional request to it, sir, if we can add the non-planned area, because in the Act, the planned area is covered. So if the planned and non-planned area both could be covered, then the rural area would also be covered under the RERA registration.
You see, the Act says that all the areas, whether it is in the planning area or outside planning area, but area where there is somebody to give approval to the plans, building plans. That covers entire West Bengal, almost.
Okay.
I mean, some panchayat or Jila Parishad, someone is there giving approvals. And that we have already notified that entire state will be coming under our control.
All right, sir.
Thank you, Amitji. The lady wanted to ask a question.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. So I have 2 queries. One is, you have mentioned the deadline to be 30th April for unregistered projects. Is there any penalties decided already which are going to impose on the developers if they do not register their unregistered project? And second is, if a booking happens in a project, in a registered project through an unregistered broker or a channel partner or a person, what are the, if the any penalties or any liabilities are on the developer in that case?
First question is about the penalties for not registering the project. It is already clarified in the Act, so we need not say this here. Second one, आपने कुछ बोला है? Soma? If there is no broker registered with this website, but still he's dealing with the project, in that case, there are penal consequences.
Upon the developer?
Upon the broker. Upon the broker.
So my question was, is there any penalties or liabilities upon the developer?
I don't think so. The penalty is on the broker itself.
Okay.
One has to know the law in a totality. So if a promoter sells his stock, his flat, through an unregistered broker, I do think, maybe I'll have to find out that practical provisions, that will also be offense on the part of the promoter also. Because this is in violation of the RERA Act. If I say it RERA Act, though the name is something else. Though you all call it RERA Act, it is Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016. So, therefore, it is not wise on anybody's part to sell his stock through an unregistered promoter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Broker, rather, broker.
Okay. Any more questions? Last maybe couple of questions. Mahesh ji, can you have a mic here, please? Acha, aap bol lijiye, please.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Ajay Jhunjhunwala from Signum Group. I have just a couple of questions. We have a big project, big land area, and we have a multiple phases project. Suppose in a big land, we are developing phase 1 in a small area. What should the land area be defined in the year? Because, say, I am developing 4 buildings. It has a common area, which will be the common for entire project. So what should I define? Whether should I define the plinth area only of the building, or what should be the land area for the, this is number one. Number two, in the same,
सर वो एरिया और उसका ड्राइववे वगैरह आ जाएगा. See, I can tell you what we have.
There is a provision for phase-wise development also, and each and every phase, the law says that it is a different project. It is a project, different project. So each and every phase is a distinct and different project. So you have to get yourself registered, or the project registration for each and every phase.
but sir, it has a access area, common road, which is very big. Say I am developing at the farthest end, and the common area will be common for entire project all the time. Say it will take 10 years to develop.
Okay.
So what should be my the land area? Only plinth area, that should I consider? What will happen to the common area which I am developing? That will common for all the time, all the phases. So we need
this
clarification on this.
Actually, I am taking your questions also here. So I'll have to go back and go through the law, and definitely I will come back.
We'll clarify this, but what I think that whatever development is taking in the first phase, if it is including the area which will be used by other phases also, that should be taken in the first phase itself.
Yes, that may be the logical conclusion.
The issue will come, then we will make a declaration that this is the specific limited to this project, and this will be the trunk area to be shared by other also. This in the working group, if this can be clarified, because this gentleman raised a problem will be with many of us, because see, in MIG and budget housing project, sales happen very slow, sir. If I am doing a project in Barasat or maybe in Joka and, or in Boroipur, these are MIG projects where there is a limited appetite. But land parcels are large. And you see, when we pool the resources together, say one STP or one clubhouse, or then the cost comes down. So we can provide the benefit to the customer. But suppose if I register the entire land in phase 1, and tomorrow if I do the phase 2, then phase 1 customer can create a dispute that this is the phase 1 land, you cannot give right to phase 2. So we have to, but there is one caution, sir. There is one caution, which I tell all of you and also request to the authority, that the promoter must declare.
It is the disclosure. Declare.
Declare.
The entire act is the disclosure act.
Yeah.
If I disclose what I am going to do, so then nobody will be affected.
Correct.
Nobody will
Declare
adversely affected.
what will be the total number of occupants?
Yes.
Suppose if you are developing say 500 flat, tomorrow you get more land, but you have made a clubhouse for 500 flat, but you want to add 1,000 more, 1,500. That clubhouse may be insufficient. So idea is, when we do the working group that the promoter must declare what will be the maximum occupancy. This will be a balance between the promoter and customer and the authority all put together. So that tomorrow the customer will not say that, no, you declared 500, but you are making 1,500. And you can also, and one of the customers, one of the developer, if out of greed, he is trying to load more, that is unfair. So something.
So you have to make your plan properly in advance, well in advance.
Yeah.
And accordingly you go ahead.
স্পেসিফিক কমন এরিয়া আর প্রজেক্ট কমন এরিয়া ডিফাইন করতে পারতো তো যাবে জবে আমরা বসবো তবে উই ক্যান টেক দ্যাট
ঠিক আছে কিছু কিছু জিনিস
one good thing is that there is no restriction in Central Government Act with regard to this particular aspect. So you can do it, sir, at state level, sir.
রেস্ট্রিকশন না থাকলে নিশ্চয়ই করা যাবে। এটা তো মানে আমরা শুনছি এবং দেখবো আমরা আরেকবার ফিরে গিয়ে আইনটা আরো পড়ে দেখে নেব।
Sir, another point in this same respect, multiple phases project, say if I am making a 5-6 building, I have taken approval, sanctioned, everything taken, but I am handing over in a phase manner because I am completing 2 building, I am handing over. So what should be the completion date should I give? There is one option only to give the completion date of the project.
I'll tell you from my experience, the project that I had done, उसमें क्या है, each project will become a different RERA number. तो सोचिए, I'll give you an example. If suppose आपका project का नाम है Ganges Garden, तो Ganges Garden 1, Ganges Garden, तो each project will also have a different RERA number. So each project, each phase will have a different completion date because you'll have to apply afresh for that. Sir, आप कुछ add करें?
That was not his question.
एक ही चीज़ हम ऐड करना चाहेंगे. This is an act where everything has to be declared. Once you declare, you have to abide by it yourself. So you declare that you are starting this phase now, ending it here. Second phase this time, ending it here, and accordingly you work.
And sir, lastly, one more, sir. During this phase where the website was not operative, my registered project, and so what should be the fate of the quarterly returns? Should I give the returns in a go for that period, or should I give the every quarter I have to make this upload my this quarterly returns? This pending part for the time website was closed
Pending
for
part
this
was
period.
So you are starting the project today.
I have done a registered
Right.
project.
Commencement date.
This is under Hira.
In the Hira. I'll suggest you, once the format is available on the website, you start with the current position and go on for quarterly progress after that.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll take
Updated progress bata do.
Okay, we'll take the last question. Mahesh.
Good afternoon. Mahesh from Purti. I had a small suggestion. Nowadays, a new concept is coming up with farmhouses, where we give an acre of land and the construction area is only 4,000. And if we raised, obviously we had to register it in RERA, and the fees is always calculated on the ground area in RERA. If it can be some working on it, because the fees would be in crores and crores.
So whatever is there in the act, we cannot change it. If you are making a farmhouse in Calcutta, you will definitely pay crores and crores. If you are making a
In
farmhouse in
outskirts of Calcutta,
a
sir, we
little
are giving
distance from here, the amount will be much lesser.
Acres and acres of land, and we are constructing only 4,000 square feet.
So if you are that rich and you are making acres and acres of land and making only the few 100 square feet of construction on it, you will have to pay accordingly.
Sir, किंतु इसके लिए कुछ एक बार अगर
Because ultimately, when you sell it off, you will be selling the entire acre of land and the constructed portion.
we are selling that only, sir.
Okay, I think thank you very much for this vibrant question and answer session, and thank you to the panel, especially from the Housing Department, Principal Secretary Sir, Chairman RERA Sir, and all the other people. So we're just coming to the close. I request Sanjukta to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much. So as we come to the end of this special session today, on behalf of CREDAI West Bengal, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank Shri Rajesh Kumar Sinha, Shri Sandipan Mukherjee, Shri Bholanath Das, all senior officials from the Housing Department and WBRERA for being here today. This interactive session was much awaited, and it has indeed brought in a lot of clarity on WBRERA for all of us. We would also like to thank ICICI Bank for being the event sponsor today. Thank you so much for your support. We would also like to thank Shri Sushil Mota, Shri Tamal Ghoshal, Shri Siddharth Pansari, and all our senior members for their constant support that enables us to organize such events, and especially when we do it collaboratively with the government. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today, and I'll request you all to join us for refreshments in the free function area. Wish you all a very nice evening. Thank you.